think it was Tony Brooks that once said, give me Goodwood on a sunny day and you can keep the rest. But why are we here today at this mecca of motorsport, this hedonism of horsepower as an electric car channel? Well, this year in 2022, there is a huge emphasis on electric mobility, and we're also seeing some new electric cars for the very, very first time here in the UK.
Yeah, we're just about to head on down to Electric Avenue to see the latest offerings, see what's new, and they're calling it the Road to 2030. So it'll be interesting to see what we can make of it.
Yeah, and the hill climb as well. I mean, really looking forward to seeing some of those times being kind of smashed. The ID.R holds the current record, and we got the Ford Supervan and the new Cayman GT4e as well. They could both be pitching for that time.
So, welcome to Goodwood.
And welcome to the Festival of Speed 2022.
And of course, as always, welcome to Auto EV. So we've ditched Rod and he's off looking at some ridiculous big race car, and Charlie and I have headed back over to Electric Avenue and we're having a look at this. This is the new Fisker Ocean. Well, I mean, this is going to compete with the iX3 and the Q4, Charlie, which you're a big fan of. What do you reckon to this?
Yeah, I really like this car. I think it's quite exciting. Fisker's it's a newish brand in people's minds, isn't it?
That's the thing with EVs, isn't it? We're seeing a lot more of these kind of new brands kind of emerge.
Yes, yeah,
and that's the interesting thing with EV architecture. It's relatively kind of easy, dare I say, to start a new brand up.
Yeah.
Now, Fisker's quite a well-known name if you're used to Aston Martin, because Henrik Fisker, the CEO of the company, was Aston Martin's chief designer way back in early 2005. And he was credited with the little Aston Martin V8 Vantage. And he's had a couple of goes at starting a company, in fairness, but I think this is the one that's
He hasn't had much luck there, has he? Because the first hybrid, the Karma,
yeah,
I think a lot of them got written off in a kind of storm, didn't they, in America?
They did.
They lost loads.
I think this is the car that's going to put his name on the map.
This is giving me kind of Defender vibes a little bit.
Yeah, Ford Bronco, that kind of thing. You know, the new kind of Bronco.
Yeah.
You're going to get the car in 3 battery sizes, I think. The smallest one, it's a front wheel drive only, so front mounted motor. It's got a range of around about 270 miles or so. And then I think there's another 2 higher batteries, slightly more performance, dual motors, around about 300 miles, 350 miles.
Yeah, that's the top end is about 300, and I think the entry one is about 250 miles. But I mean, the starting point on this price is 35,000, which is pretty good.
That's bang on the market. Really,
yeah. But then for the top of the range one, it's right up to 60,000. Yeah. But you are getting the performance with that. It's like 3 seconds to 60, which puts it almost in a hyper SUV kind of league. But
coming to the UK in 2023, and I think this is definitely going to be one of our top lists to definitely do a road test review on when it comes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, if ever there was a car that's going to court controversy, it's got to be this, the new Lotus Eletre. I mean, this is a world away from what we've seen from Lotus before, but this is showcasing their all-electric future.
Yeah.
It's a high-performance SUV, and as much as everyone bemoans that, that's what sells. And look what the Cayenne's done for Porsche, so this can only be good for Lotus. What do you think?
I think it's a really high price point, isn't it? You're looking at 100,000, and the Fisker Ocean at 35,000, and I know the top of the range Fisker is 60,000, but same sort of performance. Yeah, and all these electric cars perform so fast, don't they? It's like, what sets this apart from the other brands now? Because it's not 0 to 60 anymore, is it?
No, it's not, and I think that's where Lotus are possibly going to have the edge, because it is a Lotus, and as we all know, they've always been great handling cars. Yeah. From the Elise, the Esprit, the Eclat, the Elan, they've always been fantastic that way. Yeah. So that's what's going to set this apart, I think.
The really nice thing about this is the whole aerodynamics. The louvers, they open up and shut to give you that better co-efficiency. I think it's a really nice touch, and it's really clever.
And remember, Lotus is now owned by Geely, which obviously own Volvo and Polestar. So in terms of the quality of the stuff that's going to go into it, we've seen before and we know how good it is. So again, that's only been good for the Lotus brand.
Yes.
I can't wait to drive this. I think this is going to be a sensational car.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Well, I mean, this is right up our alley, isn't it?
Yeah, this is fantastic. I love this car. This is just brilliant.
I mean, it's just a concept at the moment, folks, but I think the rumour is that Renault are going to build this.
They are, yeah. 2023, you could see this on the roads.
And you think about it, I mean, they were one of the first with the Zoe to really capture the sort of like the EV market for the everyday man with the super mini, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I just think it looks sensational.
Those retro styling, it's just brilliant. And I think Alpine are going to do a sporty version of this, which is going to have like
So we could see a proper little electric hot hatch there.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's going to have 215 brake horsepower,
which is for that. All it needs is Le Car down the side of it, and I'm absolutely sold on this. I think this is one of my favourite cars to show you so far.
No, definitely. And the price of it, 18,500 starting point. That's 30% less than the current Zoe, which is like a no-brainer.
Who do we sign up?
Yeah, exactly.
Now this is a car that's really quite interesting because you've just said we featured this way back in the first issue of Auto EV magazine, which
That's
was
right.
a few years back.
It was, yeah, exactly, a couple of years back. And
but we're just seeing it really now. But indications are it's very, very good, and it went up the hill with Ben Collins, the original Stig, driving it yesterday.
Yeah.
And similarly, he said it's quite a car. I think is it tri-motor? It's got quite power.
I think definitely the top of the range one is a tri-motor, but it's kicking out 1,600 brake horsepower. Which is insane. And that's going to be a Tesla beta, isn't it?
It really is. And I think it's got something like a 900 volt architecture as well. So in terms of its charging capabilities and the way it retains its charge and its, sort of like its efficiency is what's going to win this a lot of cars. Yeah. It's BMW i7 EQS sort of size car, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing you're right.
Like limousine style.
I don't think they've actually delivered that many of them yet, have they?
No, but they're in the
States. Full.
Yeah. But I think they've now set up the European arm, and I think they are sort of like coming thick and fast, in terms of deliveries in the States.
Yeah.
So maybe 2022, 2023, we're going to start seeing deliveries in Europe, perhaps.
I think you're right. I think the other European countries are going to see it first, but we will definitely see it. Probably, I'm thinking 2023 or maybe late 2022.
I mean, Lucid, a bit like Fisker. I mean, is this going to be the new Tesla? I mean, we've seen those brands just go from nothing to huge.
It could be, yeah.
Could
definitely.
it be the new Tesla, folks? Stay tuned to Auto EV to find out. And this is the UK debut as well of Toyota's new BZ4X. It's all-electric family crossover, about the size of a RAV4 and slotting right into a marketplace that is just overcrowded because that's what everyone wants. Now, we're not going to go into too much detail on this car now, and the reason being for that is we're going to be on a road testing it in just a few weeks' time. So make sure you subscribe to the Auto EV channel and press the little bell button down below, because then you'll be notified when road tests like this go live. Now again, this is the first time we're also getting to see this, which is quite an important car.
It is,
This is the new Renault Megane. It's not an addition to the Megane, this is it. 5-door family hatchback. They've moved away from being crossovers again, so which is quite nice. So this is going to compete with things like the Coupe Bourbon and the Volkswagen ID.3, and I think it looks great.
I think it really does. It's quite compact looking, which you want for a 5-door hatch. It looks a bit like an SUV, but obviously it's not. But I think the first glance of this car, and in this colour, it really pops.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks really smart.
The designers of this actually designed this as the Renault Sport Megane, but they liked it so much, the management said, that's how we want the standard car to look.
Yeah.
And bravo to them for that, because I think this is going to blow the socks off the likes of the Coupe Bourbon and the ID.3.
Yeah.
But of course, we won't know until we get them all three together on the Auto EV channel. What the hell's this? The Electra Meccanica Solo.
Yeah, it looks like half a car to me. And if the Morgan three-wheeler and a Ford Sierra had a love child, this would be it.
Yeah, I think we'll leave that one now. Let's go. And a fun favourite of the channel, but this is the new Kia Niro EV. It's no longer the e-Niro. Simply something to do with search analytics being better for Niro EV rather than e-Niro. I like it.
Yeah.
You're on the fence?
Yeah, I'm on the fence with this. I did like the first one, but the styling, it has changed quite a bit. I'm not sure about some of the angles.
Oh, I don't know. I think this is going to be quite a car. Now, we know from the channel how well the e-Niro was received by the public. I mean, it's one of the probably the most long-standing sort of like family electric crossovers.
That's true.
The best thing about them is good range.
Yep.
This is again going to have, you know, just a sub 300 mile range, so 270, 280 miles.
Which is perfect.
You know, price-wise, somewhere between 35 to just over £40,000. So just below the EV6, another car from Kia that we love as well.
Yeah.
And a bit more. See, that was the thing with the original Niro. I just didn't think it was. I just found it a bit too bland looking. Whereas they've gone a little bit more stormtrooper-like on this one.
I'll give it that. It's more edgy with the design, which is maybe what they need.
Yeah. But certainly, this is one that we can't wait to test on the AutoEV channel, especially given how well we loved the last one.
Just having a look around, here's the McMurtry, a fully electric fan car. It's going to go up the hill later. I'm all looking forward to seeing that. It's going to go for the ID.R record, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Right,
here we are with the Ford Supervan. This comes from a long line of Ford Supervans. The first generation one was based on a GT40. Then the second generation had a Le Mans car engine, and then we had the F1 engine car, and now we've got fully electric. This has got 4 50 kilowatt motors, and it's kicking out 2,000 brake horsepower. I just think it looks stunning, don't you?
It's a beast, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to
go
go
wait for our builder to turn up in one of these.
Yeah.
That'd be good. But no, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And how fast do you reckon it's going to go up the hill?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty quick. It's definitely going to be gunning for like a top 5 place, I reckon.
Okay, yeah. Well, find out later.
Yeah.
Well, this is something new, Charlie. This is the new Porsche GT4e Performance, and this is basically like a race car preview of the new Cayman that's coming out.
That's right, yeah, and it looks phenomenal, doesn't it? And this is a kind of a look into what Porsche are going to do in the future, I think. I think by 2030 they want to be fully electric or carbon neutral, whether that's synthetic fuels or fully electric range, I'm not sure, but this is a good look at what's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we know how steeped in motorsport history Porsche is, and obviously they've shown the new Le Mans car here this weekend as well. But I mean, it's interesting. We know how good the Taycan is in terms of a road performance EV. This is quite sensational that they're actually showcasing a full EV race car. Yeah, and when you think of the Mission R and how that turned into the Taycan, yeah, if this is a similar kind of project, this could be what we expect to see on the road. Sort of a kind of GT4e performance version of the Cayman could be fantastic. And we know how well engineered Porsche's cars have been, you know, since obviously we've owned Porsches, we've been, doing this job. So given how good the Taycan is, I mean, this bodes well for the new Cayman being an all-electric. And remember, the new Mecane's going full EV as well, and that's a big seller for them as well. That's right. Yeah.
So here we are at Polestar, one of our channel favourites, and today I'm with Joachim, who's been developing the chassis on the Polestar 2, which he'll tell you a bit more about now.
Well, this is a Polestar 2 BST 270. It means we produce one in 270 cars, and this car we show in public last year at Goodwood.
Right.
And since that we have done development of this car. So it's been a really hectic year.
In 1 year, that's a lot of development to get to this point now.
But we have good suppliers. We have done a special tire together with Pirelli.
Right.
Special rims, 21 inch. We have lowered the car 25 millimeter. Increased the stiffness of the spring with 20%.
Right.
Just to give the car a bit more sporty feeling. We have a rally bar between the top mounts, which give more precision in the steering and give the sporty character as this car has.
Right. So this is ultimately adjustable, and you can set it up for various racetracks or various road conditions. That's one of the beauties of this car.
Absolutely. Yeah. Together with Elise, we have developed a road and track system to a new level. You can adjust compression and rebound separately.
Okay.
So when you brake, you can open a compression if you want the car to dive more.
Yeah.
Or if you drive sporty on a nice curved road, you can put compression and rebound on the same way, so the car is more agile.
Right.
You can adjust the behavior with it then.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, it's a beautiful looking car, and as I say, we're channel favourites of this, so thank you very much for telling us a little bit about it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
I see you found the Polestar stuff.
Yes.
Well, this is the preset. This is a concept.
That's right, yeah. Well, we saw this last year, though, Brian.
We did see it last year, but what we didn't see last year is this. This is the Polestar 5. So this is a prototype, obviously, and this is going to be sort of like the production version of the Precept. So Polestar's top of the range, kind of luxury, kind of GT car. Some impressive stats with this car, Charlie. Over 800 horsepower.
Yeah, no, it's a quick car, and I love that kind of sporty nature about the Polestars.
Yeah.
It really sort of, it's that little bit of difference, isn't it, that cuts it above the rest, I think.
What we said when we did the Polestar 2 against the Tesla Model 3 and the BMW i4, we did say that they're getting their own styling sort of like just absolutely on point, and I mean this takes it to another edge, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. When you look at the Precepts, it's a stunning looking car, and you see this, there's not that much difference, is there? I mean, I know it's got the camo livery, but you can still see through that, and it's got the same styling cues.
Because normally when a concept car, they show it, when it comes out, it looks nothing like what was there.
Right.
Whereas this really does look exactly like that.
And they've still retained this kind of blanked in rear window, which I'm quite surprised about.
Yeah,
so if that's going to production, which it sounds like it probably is.
So there's no rear window on the car at all, folks, because the structure of the car comes back to about there. So you've got this kind of big panoramic roof, but then it's all going to be via cameras at the back. So again, quite an interesting and brave, dare I say.
Yeah, but I love the idea of opening up the cabin and having that kind of full panoramic roof going, being able to go right the way back. It's going to feel really light and airy in there.
Yeah. Now we're going to see a lot more from Polestar very, very soon, because the new SUVs are coming out this year. So the Polestar 3, and then this is the Polestar 5. I think this is 2024.
That's right, yeah.
And then there's another Polestar coming in between then as well. So yeah, there's a lot.
They're really kicking them out, aren't they?
They really are.
Which is great.
Yeah. And we may get something a little bit special coming soon in Auto EV with Polestar. So make sure you subscribe, yeah?
So here we are with the new Lexus LFA, which is the first UK debut, first anyone's ever seen of this car. It's quite an exciting car, really sleek looking. I have to say the back looks a bit like the front. It's so sleek, maybe too sleek. But the LFA, the first LFA, took 4 years to come out from the initial launch of the concept to actual production. So we're probably not going to see this car till about 2025. But it's still an exciting car.
Now over on the Lexus stand, we have Lexus's entrant into the mid-sized executive crossover market, and this is the RZ450e. Now it is based on the Toyota BZ4X platform, but what they've actually done is they've sacrificed a little bit of range to give the car a bit more performance and a little bit more, dare I say, Lexus refinement. It's designed to take on cars like the BMW iX3 and the Mercedes-Benz EQC, and it's going to come with a battery size of just over 70 kilowatt hours and with a WLTP range of around about 255 miles. Now there's going to be 3 models when it launches in the UK in 2023, and prices are going to start from £62,500 and move up to around about £72,000, which is a lot when you think about its main rivals, but Lexus are very, very confident. And remember, of course, they've been a brilliant stalwart when it comes to hybrids, but this is them showing their hand when it comes to fully electric. One to watch for next year, I think. Now, for those of you wishing to channel your inner Steve McQueen, but with a clear conscience, how about something like this? This is the Charged Mustang, a fully electric, composite-bodied, brand new Mustang. Now, the car features, believe it or not, 4 electric motors, so all-wheel drive, with power in excess of 500 brake horsepower. Now, each car will be bespoke, built to a customer's individual requirements, and prices are going to start from around about £350,000. But yeah, I can imagine lighting the tires up of this around about San Francisco, except it might be a little bit quieter than Steve's one. Okay, so we're here with the Maserati Grecale. Although it's petrol, there is an electric version of this coming very soon. In fact, probably next year we're going to see this. And this is going to go head to head with the electric Megane. And I do like a Maserati, and I think an electric Maserati, I'm looking forward to driving it. No, you found this. This is the EV6 GT. Yeah. And obviously the EV6, the standard car, was our car of the year 2021. It was, yeah. 577 brake horsepower, dual motor, all-wheel drive. This is going to fly. Not 3.5 seconds. What do you reckon? Oh yeah, I think it's, yeah. As you say, we thought it was our car of the year. You love driving. I haven't driven the EV6 yet, but I'm guessing in the GT guys with that amount of power, I think it's. I'm hoping it's going to be a phenomenal drive. Yeah, I can't wait to drive it. I mean, obviously, recently we did things like the Volvo C40 Recharge Twin, Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, which again, big number in terms of horsepower.
Yeah.
But this is 10 grand less than the Mustang Mach-E GT, you know, which is a lot of cash.
It is, yeah.
And it's Kia. You get a 7-year warranty with it, and we know how good the standard car is. I think this is definitely going to be one to watch coming this year.
I love it in this flat grey as well, with the black trim. I think they haven't really done that much with the styling, but just those, you know, the black wheels with the diamond cut. I think
Proper
it just,
Q car, isn't it? Real Q car, like the M5s used to be of old. You can't tell that it's, you know, they've got the power that it has.
It does look smart.
That's going to surprise a few people at some traffic lights, I'll tell you. Now, I'm quite excited by this. Because our old friend Charlie Burman, he had a bit of luck with one of these because they featured in the Long Way Up and that electric Harley.
They did, yeah, that's right.
So this is the new Rivian R1T. It's not available in the UK at the moment. It is available in the US, and it's priced around about $80,000 in the US. There's also going to be an SUV style body style on them as well. So this is the pickup version, and there's an SUV. But of course, pickups are huge in the States, Charlie. I mean, you were just saying there.
Yeah. I mean, the F-150, it's...
Well, that's now gone full electric as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, and of course...
So this will be going head to head with that.
Absolutely. And of course, they are utility vehicles. I mean, the interesting thing is this will tow 5 tons.
Wow, yeah, that's
so
impressive, isn't it?
So you've got 2 battery sizes available, up to about 135 kilowatt hours on the highest one. Range is going to be just over 300 miles, give or take.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite a heavy car at just under 3 tons.
Yeah, it's got 600 brake there, hasn't it? And it'll do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which is...
That's
quite something
for
a pickup, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot faster than an old Ford P100, I'll give you that. But I think it looks phenomenal.
It does. It looks amazing.
You know,
it's got really useful space. It's got a massive frunk.
Absolutely, and that's what it is. You need utility if you go on the
Yes,
pickup.
yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
And I have to say, this is one that my other half absolutely loves the look of. But
and I love this kind of flat, kind of Aston Martin-y sort of green. Looks really cool.
But this whole front kind of design, I think, looks phenomenal. And again, it's what we've been talking about. EV architecture just gives you that kind of freer reign with design, because you don't have to have the grills, and you don't have to have, you know, the space for engines. So the designers can really have a field day, and I think they've done well with this.
I think they have. Yeah, I really like it. I can't wait for it to come to the UK.
There we go. And of course, no visit to Goodwood Festival of Speed is complete without taking a trip down through the supercar paddock. And this year we're seeing some really high performance all-electric hypercars, including this. This is a Hispano Suiza. It's a name from the past that's come way back, and by goodness me, straight into the future. It's fully carbon bodied. There's no plastics used in it at all, so very good for sustainability. And my goodness me, it is powerful at over 1100 brake horsepower. Now, if you want one of these, there are 2 models available. There's this one, or a slightly more expensive, slightly sportier, more focused version. But it's going to set you back in the region of about 1.5 million euros. And it's going to go bang up against things like the Rimac Nevera and, of course, the Lotus Eletre in a supercar run up the hill. This is what's interesting now, all electric hypercars. But would you put your money in something you'd never heard of before? It certainly looks quite good.
So here we are on the Rimac stand with the new Nevera. They say it's the quickest car in the world, and it's going to be on the hill later on the shootout. It'll be interesting to see just how quick it is. But I'm really loving the look of this car. It's got the tan Alcantara interior with this kind of green turquoise colour. It looks phenomenal.
Now, Genesis. Let's talk about Genesis, because as we know, this is the sort of the luxury arm of Hyundai, a bit like Lexus is to Toyota. And they have been on, well, something a bit of a mission, if you like. And not only that, have they launched a huge number of cars in a small period of time, but here at Goodwood, they're also showing for the very, very first time in the UK, the electrified versions of the GV70, its mid-sized SUV, and the electric G80, its large executive saloon car. Now that's going to take on things like the new Mercedes-Benz EQE, and of course the GV70, well, of course, it's a luxury SUV, so same as usual. And of course, let's not forget the smaller GV60, the small compact crossover that we did a sneak peek of, and we're going to be road testing, giving a full Auto EV road test in a few weeks' time. They've certainly been busy, and I tell you what, I can't wait to get behind the wheel of this, because I think this car could be quite something. Right, I see you two have found the new BMW i7. So this is going to compete with the Mercedes-Benz EQS that we featured on the channel just recently.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Mercedes have gone a very different route, where you've got the S-Class and the EQS as a completely separate model, whereas BMW, this is the new 7 Series, so whether it's petrol or diesel, which is coming, the electric one's launching first, and it's exactly the same car. Now,
Yeah.
it's a big, obviously, the 7 Series is the flagship, luxury saloon from BMW. We've all known it for, well, since the late 70s now. But this is an absolute tech fest.
It is, the executive model.
Design language?
BMW have had another different look at the front, which is kind of interesting. It's been, controversial at points, and I mean, to my mind, they've improved it from what it was, and I quite like the front of this. So
it's quite spec sensitive. When I first saw it in the pictures, I didn't really like it, but I have to say, seeing it here in the flesh, in the darker colour, it's actually
nicer in life, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. As you say, when I saw the pictures, I wasn't sure about it. No. And as Rod said, I think the improvements on the front from that kind of bucktooth look, definitely improved it. And these lights, sort of daytime running lights at the top, and then the main lights at the bottom almost look like a grille. It's a nice.
And
nice
these are Swarovski crystals. A number of hundreds of thousands of crystals in there.
Another interesting thing, Brian, they've got a 31-inch telly, a drop down from the roof telly.
What, for the back passenger?
The back, yeah,
thanks for that.
Obviously.
So it's going to hit the road in the UK December this year. Pricing wise, we're going to see it probably just over the £100,000 mark. Yeah. And as I say, it's bang on trend to be competing with that Mercedes-Benz EQS. I tell you what, Jaguar must be kicking themselves. They've dropped that new XJ, that all-electric XJ. Because I think this is I think this is a real battle ahead between Mercedes and BMW.
It'd be interesting to have a go in this one.
Yeah. Absolutely. And here's another new BMW we're seeing in the UK for the first time. It's the new iX1, and this is BMW's best-selling car. This is the compact crossover, and it's gone all electric again this time, which is phenomenal. They're offering the full electric version of the iX1.
Yeah, and styling-wise, it's got the BMW. They've done another interesting take with the grille. But it's a nice compact car, isn't it? All-wheel drive. It's
yeah, that's important, because main competition, things like Mercedes-Benz GLA and the Lexus UX300e, they're single motor. This is actually dual motor, and it doesn't hurt the range that much, because actually you've still got a nigh on 300-mile range across WLTP figures.
That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Pricing-wise, it's going to come in sort of like mid-40s. I think that's where it's going to start.
Yeah.
It should be popular.
It should, yeah. For me, we've just looked at the i7, and I know this is the kind of starting point for BMWs, but I think they do the premium better for me. But it is a great car.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there, Charlie.
Yeah.
BMW top end.
Yeah,
this is a BMW for.
Yes. But I think we're starting to get used to that new BMW styling now, aren't we?
Totally,
we're starting to see it, because it goes across more of the range now. I think we're starting to see a lot more.
I think it was a shock at first when you first see that grille, like, whoa. But now you've seen it on all the models, and as Rod said, they're doing it in a slightly different way, which is starting to work, and people are getting used to it.
Yeah. Well, I think this is definitely one that we're going to be featuring on the channel as soon as we can, folks. So make sure you subscribe to the Auto EV channel for the road test of the new BMW iX1 as soon as we get our hands on it. Also making its UK debut here at Goodwood Festival of Speed is this, and this is of course the BMW iX, but it's here in mDrive 60 form, so top of the range. This is over 600 brake horsepower. It's coming to the UK this year. Price is starting well in excess of £100,000. Yep, and it still looks the same. Well, that draws to a close our review of the 2022 Goodwood Festival of Speed. And what a day it's been, because we have seen some real emphasis on electric cars, new electric cars here, and electric mobility. And some of these cars we're seeing for the first time in the UK, aren't we, Ron?
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's called the Road to 2030 this year, and this is the busiest we've seen it out of all the times we've been, isn't it? And it just shows that the market is moving that way, and
absolutely,
the future is different. So,
but it's not just new cars we've seen here. Motorsport, Charlie. I mean, look at the Porsche GT4e performance and things.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see that, and it's a snapshot into Porsche's future, isn't it? And 2023, we might start to see those cars coming through. Yeah. And by 2030, they're saying that their whole range might be electric or some sort of kind of biofuel or something like that.
And what about the time runs on the hill?
Yeah,
because, that's the big shootout. Everyone can see. I mean, that's electric cars are the ones that's gunning for that top time now, aren't they?
That's right. Yeah. No, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, which of those cars takes it, because it's definitely going to be an electric car, and it's definitely going to knock the ID.R off the top spot, whether it's the Supervan or the Cayman or the Rimac. It could be any three of those, but
But I was going to say, on the complete opposite end of the scale, we get the cheaper cars, don't we, as well? So, the Citroen Amis here, and the way that people are buying, you know, with subscription services now, it's all changing. There's lots of progress in all places.
And some nice new superminis. We've seen the Renault 5 concept here,
Yeah,
which
I
I
love
think
that.
is probably our favourite, one of our favourites from the show.
I think we can say that's the highlight of the show
That's
for us.
been for us, you know, as old car buffs. Folks, thank you ever so much for joining us on Auto EV. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Once you've done that, make sure you press the little bell button down below, because when you do that, you're then notified of when our next video goes live.
Yeah, and also follow us on social media. The Instagram account will let you know when the new video's dropped, and yeah, so you can be first on there.
Yeah, and YouTube, there's a back catalogue of videos. Worth checking out all of those. There's some really interesting reviews on there, from classics to the current cars coming out, so check it out.
All that remains for me to say is, on behalf of Rod, Charlie and myself, thank you ever so much again for watching and supporting Auto EV, and we'll see you again soon. So, you've watched our video. It's now my job to tell you to like and subscribe, and press the little bell button to receive notification of when our next video is uploaded.